Hi everyone, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and welcome to this month's Bake-A-Tale. Well, since it's almost Easter, I picked crafts and a recipe and books that are a little bit Easter related. And the recipe this month is for cupcakes, but if you look at these and kind of, squint a little and use your imagination, they might look like Easter baskets. Maybe that's what they're supposed to look like. So there are cupcakes that you can make into Easter baskets if you would like. And since it's Easter, I have some bunny crafts for you this month. Here's a pop-up card with a bunny holding an egg. Here are, my favorite, 2 different ways to make a bunny bookmark. So you could put it in your book this way or upside down this way, depending on how you want your bunny to go. And some bunny chains. Some paper chains that you can cut them out and you can make more, and you can just keep taping them together, and then you can use them to decorate. You can make them in 2 different sizes if you'd like, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. And if you haven't done one of our Bake-A-Tales before, how it works is there's a recipe, something that you can bake together as a family. There's some crafts, and I also have some books that fit the theme for this month. And we put the recipes and the craft supplies and a list of the books together in a bag that you can pick up in the children's room and do the crafts at home. So the take-home kits are available in the children's room. You can come down and pick one up or as many as you need, or you can always call the library and we'd be happy to have them ready for you. And you can just pick them up through curbside service. You don't even need to get out of your car. And if you're not able to come into the library, you can always email us at kids@adamslib.org, and I'd be happy to email you the recipe and the craft information. The books this month are also about bunnies, since, April seems like a good time for bunnies, especially when Easter happens that month. This book is called Bunny and Tree, and this was written and illustrated by Balint Jasko. And you might think, wow, that's a really, really, really big book. It will take me a long time. It's actually has not a lot of words, just a lot of really, really beautiful pictures. And the pictures will tell the story about Bunny and Tree and how Tree helps Bunny on Bunny's quest. So that's Bunny and Tree. This one is called The Easter Egg Artist by Adrienne Adams. And this is the family that decorates all the Easter eggs. And the son in the family, the little rabbit, he's not really sure he wants to do too much painting and decorating. He's got a lot of other things that he likes to do too. But once he finds out that he can decorate other things like a car and wagon and houses and airplanes, he's starting to think that maybe this decorating is kind of a lot of fun. And the more he does it, the better he gets and the more colorful the world becomes. So that's the Easter Egg Artist. And this last one is kind of self-explanatory. It's 10 Easter Egg Hunters, a holiday counting book by Janet Schulman and Linda Davik. And in this one, all the children who live in this apartment building are waiting and waiting. They really hoping the bunny's going to come and bring them some beautiful eggs to find. And then on Easter morning, they all look around and see what they can find. So this one you can look and find and see if you can find the Easter eggs that the bunny left behind. You can come into the library and check these books out. You can reserve them and have them sent to you at this library or another library. But for the recipe, as always, it's more fun to bake with somebody else. You do need the oven for these and maybe a little bit of help too. These are a little bit tricky. At least they're a little tricky for me. You might have an easier time. There are actually going to be 2 recipes in the kit this month. There's one for vanilla cupcakes, and that's what I made. And those ones don't have any eggs in them. So, eggs are still kind of expensive, so I didn't want you to have to buy eggs. So I made vanilla cupcakes to see how they work, and they do work fine. But I will tell you, this is very important. Do not fill the cup's more than 2/3 of the way full. 3/4, that's too much. And that's how I found out when they kind of spilled all over everywhere. So don't fill the whatever kind of cupcake holders you have too full, because they will kind of puff up. But because they puff up, they're really soft and moist, but that's not the greatest thing for putting these, they're licorice pieces, for the licorice pieces handle. It's a little soft, so some of them got a little squishy. But that's why there's another recipe in the kit also. So you can look at the picture for these Easter basket cupcakes. And this is how I tinted the coconut, with the little recipe that's on the back of this one. And I used this picture. So I haven't tried this cupcake recipe. You can try it if you'd like. And if you do, let me know how it works. What you do with whatever kind of cupcakes you make, bake them. Don't fill the papers too full, and then let them cool. And then afterwards, you can ice them. I used the icing recipe that was with the vanilla cupcake recipe. And I tinted that a little bit pink, just to be extra, a little fancy. Got some sweetened coconut, and I tinted that with some green food coloring. So that's first there's some icing on, and then there's green food coloring. And then I stuck the licorice piece into each side, and it worked a little bit better. I don't know if you can see on this one, to put it not all the way at the end because it was too soft there. But if you put it in the middle, they stand up fairly well. And then you can put some jelly beans on, and it'll look like little Easter baskets. And the crafts, as I said, are all about bunnies too. So let me tell you a little bit more about those. A couple more things about the cupcake recipe. If you're making the vanilla cupcakes, I ended up with 14 or 15, kind of 14 and a half cupcakes. So you might need a couple of extra cupcake liners and maybe another pan ready to go. So it might make slightly more than 12. And even though I had that many cupcakes, I cut the recipe for the frosting in half because I just didn't want that much frosting. And it still was enough to frost all of those cupcakes with just a little bit of frosting. Since I was going to put the coconut grass and the jelly beans on top, I figured I didn't need a lot of frosting. So if you don't want a lot of frosting, you could cut the recipe in half, or you could always use store-bought frosting. That's fine. And the recipe actually is called strawberry vanilla frosting, and it calls for strawberry extract. Well, I didn't have any strawberry extract, so I just left that out, and it's still fine. If you have strawberry extract, put it in. Another kind of extract, if you wanted to put a little almond or raspberry extract, try it. Let me know how it turns out. I hope you'll like it. Now to do these crafts. Oh, I love books, and so I love bookmarks. You can never have enough books. You can never have enough bookmarks. That's my motto. So here are some more corner bookmarks, and all the crafts this month happen to be from Red Ted Art. So these are Red Ted Art corner bookmarks where you put it on the page, your little bunny ears will stick out of the top of your book, and then you'll be able to find your page again. And if you have this one, your little bunny ears will be down inside the book. But in your kit, there's going to be a lot of pieces of white paper like this, about 8. So not too many, small lot. But that's what we're going to use for all these bunny crafts, all involve just white paper like this. And then that way you can decorate it however you would like. But to make these corner bookmarks, you need squares of paper. So if you take one of these, it's 11 inches across this way. So if you cut it in half, down like this, it'll be 5.5 inches. And then you could make 2 bunny bookmarks from the one piece of paper. So you could cut it in half that way. If you have you probably need a ruler to measure it, and then measure 5.5 inches this way, cut that out, and then you'll have your squares ready to go. This is origami, so you need to start with a square. And to make the basic shape, they're both little diamonds with this little flap, little envelope part in it. So you'll take your square. The first thing you will do is fold it into a triangle, like that. Now, when you're doing the origami, you will have this part, you'll have it on the table. So this part will be facing you, and the point of the triangles will be away from you. Then you're going to take the outer points on this side and bring them up to the top. So it'll look like this. You fold it up on one side, and then you'll fold it up on the other side, and then it's going to make a diamond shape. Once you have your diamond shape, you're going to undo it. open them up again, back to the triangle shape. And this is where the two pieces of paper are, because the fold's down here, so the open part's up here. You will fold down one triangle, not both of them, because if you fold both of them, then you won't have the flap or the little opening to put over the corner. So you'll fold one down, and then you'll fold these back up to the top. Except this time, instead of putting them at the top, you're going to fold those into the opening. So you'll fold it up and down and in. Same with this one, up and then down and in. And there's your shape with a little flap. And that's what these are too. You don't even have to trim this at all. It's still this diamond shape. You'll just add to it a little bit. So you can take some more of the paper and cut out little ears. There'll be a little bit of pink paper in too. You can use that, or you can just draw to make any things you want. But if you wanted to make a little pink cottontail, little pink on the bunny's ears, you can use the pink paper. If you were making this one, where it goes down like that, you will put the little cottontail at the top. That would be the bunny's back part. And here's the bunny's front part. I think mine looks a little bit like a mouse, but it's got the bunny ears, so that's how you can tell it's a bunny. When you're making this one, you can glue the little tail on the back. You can glue the bunny ears onto the inside of this flap, and then you can decorate it however you would like. You can color the whole thing if you want your bunny to be different colors. Do it however you would like. Now this one, you would glue the ears to the back and the tail to the back. And then for the front, this one has two little circles. I actually traced around the glue stick to make these two circles. So that's kind of making a little bit of the face for the bunny, and then little ears. I'm sorry, it does have the ears, but those are little teeth to chomp on carrots and things. So the ears are in the back, the two circles are in the front, and the teeth are on the inside of this flap. The circles are on the outside, and then you can decorate it, and then it's ready to mark your book. Now, to make these paper chains, you get another piece of the white paper, and you will look for the sheet it's a half sheet that will have templates on that will look like this. This is the regular size one, and then made one a little bit bigger. I think the one that's a little bit bigger is a little bit easier to cut out, but you can do however you would like it. So you see this part that's sticking out here? You can probably tell here's the ear for the bunnies. And then this is the part that sticks out. It's the little paws going out on the end, and that's what's attaching them together. They're holding paws. This part in the middle is where the heart's going to be. And if you're doing that and you want it to look like this, you cut the top of the heart and the bottom of the heart, but not in the middle. So to show you on here, you would cut about to here, then you would cut from the bottom out to here, and leave this part in the middle still attached to the bunny. And that's how you can make it sort of pop out a little bit. If you accidentally cut the whole heart out, though, that is fine. You'll just have the heart-shaped hole in the middle of your bunny, and that is fine too. You could get two on one piece of paper. If you're using a smaller template, you start at the end, one end, and put that squared off part toward the end of the paper. And I actually made a little bit longer. I thought it was just a little bit easier to have a little bit more of the little paws on the end. So I made this a little bit longer than the template calls for. If you've taken the template, you cut this out, then you'll put it on the paper and trace around it. And the squared up part is the part that goes on the end. Don't do it this way because it just cuts your bunnies in half. I did it so you won't have to. So put the square part on the outside. You trace around it. You can trace this way, and you can trace around the bunny. It's a little bit to its head. You can trace the heart on the inside. You don't actually have to draw down this part because that's where the paper is going to be folded. Once you've traced from the trace the template and put it on here. Then you start folding the paper, and you can make 4 bunnies together like this from one piece of paper. You will fold it in half right where the template stops. Fold it in half in your accordion fold. So you go one way, this way, and then that way. Fold it this way, back and forth. You don't want to fold it in and in and in and in, because that won't let you cut this out and get the shape. So you fold it back and forth, back and forth. Try to make all the folds as neat as you can so they will line up. And that will make the bunnies turn out into the right little round shapes here. And if you want to do the heart cutout, you cut out along the line and along the line at the bottom and not in the middle. So you see every place where my fold is, that's going to be the center of one of these bunnies. So the way this is folded, there would be 1, 2, 3, 4 folds, and that's how you get 1, 2, 3, 4 bunnies. Once you've cut through, you'll have a little bit of extra paper. You can just cut that part off. When you're doing, that's a smaller template. If you're using the bigger one, there's not quite enough paper to make the whole last fold. So how it ended up was I had to cut out a little arm and attach it on. If you can see, I just cut out another little paw, little arm, and attach that on. So you can do that if you're cutting out the bigger one. Since it's a little bit bigger, it doesn't quite fit quite as well. You've drawn it, you've folded it, you've cut it out, and then it is time to decorate. You can color the whole bunny if you want, like I did here. So I have bunnies in different colors, and then the hearts. You can just draw features on, whatever you like to do. You can decorate your bunnies as much as you would like. And if you wanted to make more, you can make another chain and just tape them together, and another chain and another chain, and see how far you can get. Now, if you have the heart in the center on it, and you like to kind of pop out a little, you'll just fold it carefully, fold it so it's going a little bit out from the bunny's body. And that'll make it just pop a little bit more. You can see a little bit on this side. Just pop out a little. And if you don't want to do that, like I said, you can just cut it, not cut it at all, or you can cut it all the way out. So it's up to you. However you decorate your bunnies, it's going to be just fine. Now, to make this card, you will get another piece of paper. You can do this 2 ways. You can either take the template that will be in your kit. It has egg shape, ear shape, the head, the feet, and the paws. So it's got the head, the ears, the little feet, and the paws, and the egg. You can either just cut these right out and glue those on to make your bunny, or you can cut these out and then trace. If you want to make more, you could keep this without, keep it together, or keep the cut it out and use the template. Or you could also put another piece of paper on top. You'll be able to see through it, and you can trace the ear shape and the egg shape onto the paper and just cut it out that way. If you want to save the template and make more of these. Once you have all your pieces cut out, you will take the eggs. There will be some square, it's a little bit more like cardstock paper. It'll have 2 different ones, so 2 different patterns, and that's what you're going to use to make your egg. You will need to cut out 4 of those, and I could only get 2 from one piece of paper, so I made two of one color and 2 of another. Once you have them all lined up, try to make them as uniform as possible so they're all the same size. Then you will take those eggs and you will fold each one in half. It's oval, so it's a little tricky to fold in half, but just do the best you can. Try to fold it in half, each one as best you can, and then you will glue them to each other. So you'll have all your eggs in half. You'll have 4 eggs, stack them up. On one of the folds, you'll put some glue and then attach it to the fold of the next one. And then you'll put glue on the other side and attach it to another one. So you will go with all 4 eggs. While they're still folded up in half, you'll attach them all together. Then you will take the circle to make the bunny's face, and that's going to get glued behind the egg. The ears are going to be glued behind the head, and the little feet are going to be glued behind the egg. And then the paws get added later. So once you've got the bunny's head and ears and feet attached to the egg, you fold the whole thing, the whole bunny in half. Once you have your bunny and egg shape all folded in half, you put glue all over that part, and then you line it up with the blue. The outside of your card is this blue cardstock. Fold the blue cardstock in half, and then you'll fold it in half bunny and line it up right down that center crease. And once you have it on there, it's going to be glued to one side of the cardstock. Then you'll take the opposite side of the bunny with the egg and put glue on that side, and then close up the card and press it down. You might need to maybe even weight it down with a book or something while so the glue's dried, and that's what's going to make your egg. And your bunny's ears will pop up a little. You can fold them down so they'll fit, or you can have them, still sticking out of the egg or sticking out of the card if you want to, or you can fold them a little. That makes them gives it a 3D effect like the egg, and it also makes them fit inside the card. Then you'll take the little paws, the little round circles, and put them on so it looks like the bunny's holding the egg. Then you can decorate your bunny, put little features on. You can put little markings on the paws and the feet. You can write Happy Easter. You could write Happy Spring. You could give this to somebody. You could decorate it more. It is your card. You can do it however you want. So those are the crafts. Lots of bunnies put you in the mood for Easter and spring. So thank you very much for watching. Please come down to the children's room or call us and reserve your kids. Come on in. I hope you'll have fun making the bunnies. I hope you'll have fun making the cupcakes. And I will see you next time for more books and recipes and crafts. So happy baking, happy crafting, happy reading, everybody. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.